Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. For everyone else, welcome back. It has been about 8-ish weeks since I've done a vlog, and I am really missing it. So I thought I would go on ahead and try to do one while here in spring break. And I'm going to start reading Hazel Max, Getting It On with Gargoyles. This is a Haven Ever After book 1. And in this one, Thea's sister thrifts an aged map that leads to a town called Ever. And according to Google, this town does not exist. But when they get there, they find that there is a town there, and when Thea comes through, she activates like some curse or something against the town's protective wards, and so now there is evil coming to get them. So I am going to start this one, and while I am reading it or listening to the audio of it, I'm going to eat some lunch. I got a Cantina bowl from Taco Bell, and so I'm going to check that out, and I will check in with you guys soon. Alright, so here we are. It's 7:15, 7:20. I finished lunch, listening to Getting It On with Gargoyles, and got in the groove of knitting and made a huge mistake and had to start all over. So I have started over and got caught back up to where I was at. But in the process of doing that, I did not update at all. Instead, I did finish Getting It On with Gargoyles. This was super, super cute. The note from Hazel Mac, where did I put it? Says Stars Hollow mixed with Practical Magic or Halloween Town. And that definitely is how it felt. I would even go so far to say kind of like all three. I had so much fun in this little town of Ever, and I am excited to keep reading these. The only current downside is that Hoopla had this one on audio, and so I could listen while I knit, and all the others I can get access to. They are on Kindle Unlimited, but I have to read with my eyeballs for those, which I can't knit and read with my eyeballs at the same time. If it were crochet, I could make it work, but I cannot. Knitting is still too new of a practice for me. So I am gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna do it. I think what I'm going to do, at least for tonight, is I have Mel's. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by Mel's name. The name changes that happened during that sprint. But Mel has sprints on, and so I think during the talkie bits I will knit. And then I will switch over to reading. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to read next. A big part of me wants to jump into the second Haven After book, or Haven Ever After. And part of me wants to check out some of the other books that I had on my TBR for this month. But I am worried because a lot of the ones I have the same kind of vibes as, or give me the same kind of vibes based on the covers as Getting It On with Gargoyles. So I think I'm probably going to, I don't know. I've got a few minutes to decide beforehand, but I will let you know what I'm going to read in just a few minutes. Alright, so I am, 50-ish pages? 60 pages into Love Letters and Thirst Tonics, and I'm enjoying this so far. We have Fiella, who owns this little shop and comes into work and it is destroyed by little beetles. And then you have Red, who has come to Moonvale and is helping the town to rebuild after a series of catastrophes, I guess. Everyone in town is having horrible, awful luck, including Fiella, and it is so fun to kind of watch and see how these things are going. But it's got a Gilmore Girls and You Got Mail vibe. There's a mailbox, a direct mailbox that just needs, or that has a sign out front that says something along the lines of, do you need a friend? Put a letter here and you will get a friend. And so far, Fiella has written a drunk letter to this mailbox. So I am going to call it a night for tonight and then keep reading on this tomorrow. Alright, so I am now 220 pages in Love Letters and Thirst Tonics. I'm really enjoying this one. It is so fun to read. It definitely has those Gilmore Girls and You Got Mail vibes that I am really enjoying. At this point in the book, I'm waiting for them to figure out that they are the ones writing each other the letters. And so, lots of fun so far, and I'm really enjoying it. It is 6:30 on a Thursday night, and it's been a long day. I have gotten a lot of reading done, but I've also been to the dentist twice today to do the final fittings for my final dentures. So I'm going to have those hopefully tomorrow morning. And then I don't have to go through all of these pieces and parts for about 10 years. I'll still have to go to the dentist every 4 months for cleaning, especially because I have a partial for the bottom and it wears on those teeth that are already there. The dentist just likes to keep an extra close watch on them, especially with my yucky enamel. So I am going to try to finish this tonight. I do have a couple of choices for audiobooks when this is done because they came available. So I'm going to finish this and then pop in an audiobook and do some knitting tonight, I think. But we're going to see how I feel in the next little bit. So I will check in with you very soon. I have now finished Love Letters and Thirst Tonics, and I definitely enjoyed that one to the point that I want to see if the next one is out. The second one follows her best friend, Kinsey. Kiki, Keezy, whatever her name is. Um, it follows her best friend, and I am definitely excited to try that one. Just marking it as finished on Storygraph. And that one. The next one is Cauldrons and Cattails. And, oops. It's gonna, Kizzy is her name. It's gonna follow her. So I am excited to see if I can find that one and give it a shot. But for now, I am going to start my next audiobook. So I'm thinking, because I am somewhat limited on the time I can have this one, of going on ahead and doing Legends and Lattes next. Because that one I only have from the library for 14 days. Excuse me. Whereas Her Soul to Keep, or A Soul to Keep, I can't remember the exact wording of that one, I have longer for, due to it being on Everand and not through Libby. So I am going to start Legends and Lattes. This one is a kind of what happens when the campaign ends of D&D. So Viv has a she was an orc barbarian and decides to open a coffee shop in Thune, and her plans end up trying to be thwarted. This one, I believe, is a sapphic romance, so we're going to see how I fare with this. I normally don't enjoy sapphic romance as much as I do heterosexual romances. So I'm going to get this started, and I will check in soon. Well, I have finished Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This one was an interesting read. I'd heard a lot of people talk about it having great representation for the sapphic community, and so I was a little leery going in. Alright, my battery died. So I was a little leery going into this, but overall I had a great time. And I know part of the reason I was kind of leery going into this, because when I pick up a romance book, I am expecting a lot more open door scenes. This one has a couple very chaste beginning of relationship type kisses, and that's it. So it wasn't it wasn't a huge issue for me this time, but really enjoyed it overall. The premise of this one is a orc has retired from being essentially a barbarian fighter type character, and decides to instead open a coffee shop. And I had so much fun with this. Just a lot of seeing a lot of the characters' thought process into opening this, along with the struggle she had to overcome. With opening a new business, being in a new town, making new friends. So, overall, I had a great time, and this marks my 7th book. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, my 7th book since spring break started a week ago. We technically have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before we go back. So I'm going to try to get a couple more books in this week. I think I'm going to next do Her Soul to Take. A Soul to Take. I think it's Her Soul to Take. Which is another one of the Enchanted Fandom books that I had. That I have been needing to read, but life has gotten in the way. My sister has read this one. She gave it 4 stars. I hear kitty cats playing. So I am gonna do that one next, but I am not going to do it tonight. I am just way too tired. So and it's 11:10. So I'm gonna call it a night, and then I will start Her Soul to Take tomorrow and continue working on my knit blanket that I have going right here. I'm hoping to get some more done in it before we go back, but we'll see how it goes, and I will check in. I will check in tomorrow. Well, it is Saturday morning. It's actually Saturday at noon. I have made my bullet journal for the week, and now I am in the car. I'm gonna run some errands. I had to get gas in my car, and then I went, you know what? While I'm out, I'm gonna get my car washed. So that's what we're gonna do now. We use Time to Shine, and we pay every month for it, but I don't always use it. So we're gonna use it today. We did get it for this time of year when the pollen's really bad. So I am going to do this, and I will check in soon. Alright, the car is clean, and now I'm gonna go on with my other errands. And while I'm in the car, I am going to listen. I'm trying to set it up as I speak. I'm gonna listen to A Soul to Save, or A Soul to Keep, I'm sorry. This one is by Opal Rain. Let me see if I can. There it is. Alright, so Rhea wants freedom. She is blamed for demons eating her family, and is a harbinger of bad omens, and her city decides to sacrifice her off when that time comes. So I'm gonna get into this and listen while I drive and do the errands I need to do, and I will check in soon. Alright, so I have turned in the long overdue book that my daughter had. And then I got one book. I just got The Borrowed Life of Frederick Fife by Anna Johnston. This one, it just really looked interesting. It seemed to be kind of, I don't know, the cover called to me for sure. And then while I read the description, and it's like he borrows things and he returns them better than he borrowed them. So if he borrows your car, he makes sure it has a full tank of gas, things like that. So it looked interesting. I also, as you saw in the B-roll there, that I picked up a Macbeth. I got really excited. It looked interesting. And then I went looking for Macbeth in graphic novel form. And then I remembered once I grabbed the Macbeth graphic novel that we're not reading Macbeth. We are reading Hamlet. And it was a Hamlet graphic novel that I needed. I did check and they didn't have any. So I put both the Macbeth books back. And I'm just gonna go from there. It was I have it in my head, and I think it's because I did it in high school. I did Macbeth, but I like Hamlet so much more. I don't know, it just hits me different. And we don't have crazy Lady Macbeth washing her hands of blood in the hallways. But we do have crazy Hamlet. But is he acting crazy? Or is he really crazy? That's the real question. And it has the to be or not to be big famous quote. So I think I'm gonna order a drink from Sonic because it is like 75 degrees right now. I am warm. I would love something icy and cold. I mean, I still have my coffee from this morning that I'm sipping on, but like a cherry limeade or something sounds really good right now. So I'm gonna get on my app and order that, and I will check in with you guys shortly. Alright, so since I was in the area of the Nothing Bundt cakes, I went ahead and stopped and got one. We got the 10-inch Bundt cake. I'm excited. We tried the less icing version, so we're gonna try that out later today. But I have a few more stops to make, and then I'm gonna go from there. Alright, so last stop before home is the grocery store. I'm gonna pick up a couple things. My husband's going to make chicken teriyaki for dinner, just as a sweet treat for me, so I don't have to cook. So I gotta get some chicken, and I'll grab a few other little piddly things, and go from there. Alright, I have now finished A Soul to Keep. Really enjoyed it. There is a lot going on in this one, and it does make me want to keep going in the series, just because I kind of want to know what happens to the other characters. This first one, we have Orpheus and Rhea. Yeah, Orpheus and Rhea, and they come together due to Rhea's town thinking that she is a harbinger, yeah, of bad omens, and so she is sacrificed to Orpheus in exchange for a protection ward on the village. And she goes to his house and finds that Orpheus isn't so bad. He just wants a companion. And so we see their adventures in that as they try to learn to live together. But I had a great time with it, and that's going to be the end of my spring break vlog. Over the spring break, let me see if I can pull it up. I haven't fully calculated, but most days the village that Rhea lives in decides to sacrifice her to Orpheus in exchange for a ward on the city, because they believe that she is a harbinger of bad luck. And so everything else going on in this story after that is Rhea and Orpheus kind of learning to live together and adapt to, for Rhea, turning her what she's been taught her whole life about Duskwalkers and demons, and realizing that it's a little more than what she's been taught. And for Orpheus, learning just how to have a companion. There's so much more to it. It's such a great story. I had a great time. But I am going to end this vlog, or the spring break vlog here. I was going to share kind of quickly a stats of what I've read. I have to mark that as finished first. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books read during spring break. That's about 1 a day, and even with that, or going with that, I don't think I ever read less than 200. Oh, I'm sorry. There was one day I read 195 pages, but everything else I read more than 200 pages each day, beginning on the 27th. So I had a great spring break, and the next break I get will be for our summer, but our summer begins in May. So it's not too long from now. It's about 8 weeks. And so I am excited for that. But I am going to sign off here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.